Alright, this is another video for today. Probably just do these two and then that'll be it. I got a lot of things to do today, and I don't have every day off. I got things that I need to do regularly, 4 or 5 days a week. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this and that, so these are two chit chat videos for you. And I lose track of things, so forth. I found this Bigfoot with a chainsaw. I found this sticker, Bigfoot with a chainsaw. Now, if I move up to a 592 XP Husqvarna saw and do a chainsaw mill for that big tree back there to get slabs of wood, because I want to do a 1700 style table for the house. Now, keep in mind, I have not forgot about bushcraft stuff, and I have not forgot about the rapture. Nobody could forget about the rapture, because especially when it happens, people are going to be, wow, it's going to be a major deal. It'll be a worldwide event. The rapture will be. People won't be able to deny it then. They won't be able to deny Jesus then either. Well, they will, because they do. It says so in the Bible. They'll be shaking their fist, Yeah. They just don't want to abide by their father's rules of the house. That's the thing. Anyway, what are we supposed to do while we're waiting on the rapture? Well, we know we're in the season because the Bible said we would know when we were in the season. And I know I'm in the season. A lot of other people know that we are in the season. And the season is not very long. It's a very short period. It's going to happen soon, very soon. So, what are we supposed to do in the meantime? Just twiddle our thumbs? No, we still got everyday stuff to do, Still got to cut wood. Still got to climb trees. Still got to mow grass. Which reminds me, my mower deck has been broke for 2 or 3 years now. I've been mowing mostly just the area around my house with my forestry saw, using very long strings, right? What do they call those things? I forget. Anyway, about 12-inch leads on each side. It just takes down any grass that there is. It's crazy powerful forestry saw by Steel. And so the Husqvarna saws are good, but I'm none too pleased with their mower decks on their mowers, because mine, I worked on that deck 3 or 4 times, just welds breaking, it's the shell cracking, and I had to put steel band and bolts to reinforce the deck, and I did all kinds of stuff to that dang mow deck. And finally I get disgusted, and I called up a hardware store that carries Husqvarna, and I said, look, can I get just the deck shell, and I could transfer all the stuff from the one I got over to that? And they said, yeah, we can get that for you. It's like $300. So I got the shell, and then I started trying to transfer everything over, and man, that's a nightmare. So I was so disgusted with it that I just said, you're just gonna sit here till I feel like I'm ready to work on you again. And it's been sitting there ever since because I'm so tired of that junk mow deck. You know, the thing is that I went and looked at commercial mowers recently. And they're pretty doggone expensive. You know, you're talking $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 for just a basic commercial mower. I've seen commercial mowers cost as much as $40,000. And I'm like, that's a car. You know, that's like going out and buying a brand new car. And ain't nobody wants to do that when they're a homeowner and they're not going out and using it to make money, right? But the thing about those commercial mowers, even the $8,000 to $12,000 range, they don't have those cast decks, cast steel, cast iron, cast steel, whatever they are. They don't have those. They got solid steel, welded, fabricated decks on them that are not going to crack and get trashed. You know, it's a lot of money though. I have to think about maybe doing some wood cutting. Get a job with a tree company or something. Do some wood cutting or do some handyman stuff. Save up some few bucks to get me one of those mowers. I don't know. I think about it a lot because it's a lot of money. You know, you try not to overspend, and you save up money all your life, and you got to be careful about spending it. You know. I didn't have no coffee this morning, so I just put this cup out here. It's got to be a sin not having coffee in the morning. It's just because I got a lot of things to do and I didn't want to spend the time percolating it before I did these videos. Anyway, SR-71 Lockheed. Yeah. So, there we go. Simulated. So yeah, right now my focus is getting firewood and sorting all that out. Start getting enough firewood. I gotta get some pallets, man. Get some pallets, be able to stack that firewood off the ground. I think I'll probably throw down some diatomaceous earth on the ground underneath, and then well, what I'll do is I'll mow it bald in the area where I want to put the pallets. Diatomaceous earth, put the pallets. I might put down hardware, well, not hardware cloth, well, anti-weed cloth, whatever you call it. I might put that down and then put the diatomaceous earth on top of that. Anyway, diatomaceous earth, when insects walk through it like ants, because, you know, they're going to be attracted to, some ants will be attracted to that wood. You know, that won't kill them. You know, you can get it organic as well. Put all my pallets down, start stacking that wood. Yeah. Then get me a big round out there for chopping wood. Cut me a big round. I got that one round that I for my other wood pile. That wood over there, some of that's already chopped. I chopped it up. But I had already thought about making a wood shed. But you got to be savvy with that stuff. You make a wood shed, you got to make it to where it's not a quote-unquote permanent structure, so they're not charging you taxes on your own stuff, right? It's always a game with these tax collecting people. Those people need to get a real job. Quit bothering normal people that shouldn't be taxed. Nobody should be taxed. It's extortion. What else is going on? Got this Honey Kitchen book. Got it from a gal down in the South. Date and Sons Date publication. That's a bee supplier. So they got all these honey recipes. This book is from like 1980 or something. But I'm going to have a look-see through this. I'm sure I can come up with something good. Like honey cakes or something. You know, something good. I like me some cornbread with butter and honey too. Real butter. You know, homemade butter. Do homemade butter around here. Homemade butter, homemade bread. Scrape the top layer of skin off my hand there somehow. I don't even know how it happened. Yeah. I like that stuff. I like organic food. I don't eat GMO garbage. You know, Monsanto, I call them Monsatan. I read somewhere about their facilities for the people that work there at their office. They have a break room where they offer food to eat there. And guess what? It's organic. Not that GMO crap that they push. Yeah. Other countries don't put up with Monsanto. People go out in droves and burn Monsanto's fields, you know, to discourage them from continuing to operate, you know. Those people they're the ones that are responsible for killing all the bees. You know, I mean, the thing is, it's bad enough that people, quote unquote, treat bees, you know, for mites and all that stuff. Treatment free, you know, you need to get into treatment free. There's people that you can study under, you know. There's this fella up in Vermont that's been doing treatment free beekeeping for decades. Kirk Webster, I think is his name. And then you got this fellow down in Missouri, Leo Sharashkin, which I think he's a Russian fella. He promotes the Delayans hive, which is a horizontal hive. I don't really like the looks of those, though. You know, I hate to say it, but aesthetics does sway me a little bit. You know, I don't want to mess around with the beehive. It's kind of like a woman. A woman has to be attractive. That's just a fact of life. If you're gonna go and try to make her your girlfriend, make her your wife, whatever, she's got to be attractive. You know, and to me, a beehive has to be attractive too. And I just don't find those horizontal hives to be attractive to look at. You know, they look a lot like a coffin. Crypt, you know. I'm not interested in that. I really like the looks of the Warray hive. Probably going to get a couple. Maybe I might get three or four Warray hives going around here, just for pollination. You know, that's if I'm here, right? That's next year. I was going to do beehives this year, but too many issues. Too many things to deal with. So next year will be beehive time. Look, the Apame hive, those are like a food grade plastic, but they're also, my concern is sun exposure. You know, solar issues. With, you know, degrading the plastic, but apparently they treat those with something to keep them from degrading. I don't know. And then I thought about building my own hive based on the original Dadant hive, which is larger than the Langstroth hive. I don't want to really do a Langstroth hive because the bees in the north, they don't survive the winter easy. You know, you're out there bundling them up with plastic and foam and all that stuff. If you got a large hive and then you turn around and you make it, you know, double wall with insulation and all that stuff, then you should be able to deal with that. But all that stuff is a lot of work. I mean, I already got a lot of work. So I'm looking at loading myself with more work. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that it's expensive. Everything is expensive anymore. Everything you do costs a lot of money. Even commercial mowers, entry-level commercial mowers, cost a lot of money. But in the long run, what are you gonna do? You buy a ride-on mower that, you know, lasts 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and then they're just falling to pieces because they're made of garbage materials, you know. A commercial mower might last you 25 years. You know, maybe more. I don't know. Too many things. Too much cashola. Alright. Catch you later.